Hey, everybody. Welcome to episode 126 of the Seller Club podcast. Let's drop that beat.
Yeah, drop that beat. End of the month, let's run it back. Wins and lessons, talking facts. Seller Club, yeah, we locked in. Time to break it down again.
Let's wrap her up, Ken.
End of April.
I know. It's been quite a month.
Oof. Quite a lot.
You're like, you can say that again. I'm so excited for this episode because there's so much to dig into, like looking over everything that's happened and everything that was supposed to happen and didn't happen and things that did happen that were surprising. There's just so much. I'm excited for it.
Yeah, I think we just need to jump right into it because we do have a last piece of our April challenge that we're going to discuss in the very end.
That's right.
So I guess what we're going to talk about today will be just a wrap up of our, I guess, the numbers and kind of just like the lessons that we have learned throughout this sprint month, if that's what we would still call it.
Sure.
I think it was a good exercise to be mindful of things, to challenge our way of thinking. But at the beginning of this month, me and Anna have updated you guys on where our store sits. So if you guys took part of that with us, you guys should have wrote down all the stuff in a piece of paper, or I always have it in my sticky note here in my desk, and we will revisit that and we will give you updates on that. So I'll give the floor to Anna and she will guide us through all the updates. And while you guys are listening, just think in the back of your head, answer this with us.
Yes, totally. So I guess let's walk through our numbers first. I'm going to say a reminder about some of my numbers, like from the beginning, and then I'll tell you my numbers as they stand now.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can do the same thing. Does that sound good?
Yep.
Okay. So back when we started this challenge at the very beginning of April, my listed value was 143,000, give or take about $400.
Mm-hmm.
And I had 3,771 listings that represented 4,564 items. Okay. Correct. So looking at all of those numbers now, and remember, I did a huge inventory check, which I'm happy to report that I completed during this month. And then I also started cross-listing. I had started in March, but I cross-listed a bunch more this month. And so obviously I've been selling stuff too. And I have been listing stuff, but let's see how the numbers shake out. So my listed value is a little bit less. It's I actually forgot to calculate it, but just doing the quick math, it was like a little bit like close to 135,000. So maybe like 8,000 less, which is interesting because I haven't quite made 8,000 in sales at this point, but there were things that I had to delist when I did my inventory check. So part of it is probably that. But anyway, so instead of like 3,771 listings, I now have 3,613 listings.
Okay.
So I'm down a little bit from that. And then the number of items that represents, instead of 4,564, it's 4,400 even. So I actually went down. I sold 150 items. So that means that I also delisted 136 items because I listed 122 items this month.
Yeah. So you made up for what you lost. So
yes.
Were you net positive overall?
No.
Well, no, because you delisted stuff.
Right. And if I wasn't doing my inventory check, I think I would have been. And honestly, I found, 6 or 7 entire bins. Like, I pulled stuff out of all of my bins, but that totaled about 6 or 7 bins full of stuff that wasn't listed.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm sure. So it's like a little bit skewed, I think. So once that stuff is relisted, it will definitely be net positive. Right. But I haven't relisted all of it yet. That's definitely still on my to-do list for the end of this month. We're recording this a little bit before the end of the month, and I do hope to knock that out before actually it's May.
Okay.
So that's kind of where mine fell. And I do feel like the inventory check played into that a lot. And you
Right.
didn't necessarily do as much of that this month, right?
Nope.
Okay. So
Didn't
tell
have
me how
time.
your numbers shook out.
Yeah, so this month so far we haven't completed our inventory check, and so we were just focused on selling and listing. So those were just the two things that we did mostly. So at the start of the month, we were at 370,809 listed value, and we were at 2,817 listings. Our goal is always to be at 3,000, so that's kind of like lower at the start of the month, and that includes 4,964 items. So our goal is to be at 5,000 items. That's kind of like our 2026 goal, to just
Yeah.
carry 5,000 items. So whether we grow or we just maintain.
Right.
So with all the, I would call it April tornado, because all of my plans were just flip around, moved and everything like that. We're gonna go into it later.
Swirling.
Squirrely. So currently now, we are from 370,800. We are 386,000.
Nice.
So our store grew. So obviously our listings grew. So we're at 2,866 listing, and close to 5,000. We're at 4,997.
Oh my
quantity.
gosh. Go list three things.
Three things,
whatever.
right? I could have said 5,000, but
But you're honest.
yeah, but with that, we sold 532 items
Wow.
so far for the month. So all in all, we're sitting at basically, so this month is basically will have been a sprint month, because we listed 565 items.
Yeah.
So because we sold 532, we listed 565. Our store grew 33 items. So basically, right?
Wow.
So the challenge of maintaining a store, right? But the cool part about it is because maybe some of those were like lower end items, right? Like again, when you look at, right, like we only grew 33 units, right,
Yeah.
net positive, but our store value grew by 15,000.
Right.
So that meant, like we said, like summers are always usually lower ASP items.
Yeah.
So stuff that we're adding in are higher value.
Well,
so,
and your 33 items, those are listings, right?
yes,
so
yeah,
some of
yeah.
those
No,
are
those are
multi-
units. Those are 33 units.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. So it's not multi-quantity doesn't factor into that.
Oh no. That's right. You're right. You're correct.
That's what I was
It's
thinking.
it's
like,
listings. It's listings.
That's
It's listings.
Yeah, that's part of how the value is so much higher.
Yes, it's listings. So maybe some of those are
Yeah.
multi-quantity and stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah, because comparatively we were at 4,964, and then now we're at 4,997.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
give or take 50 quantity
Yeah. Right.
more. Yeah.
But that's
So-
great.
Yeah, so that happened because I failed my no spend April terribly.
I
And-
mean, Kendall called it.
Kendall was right.
was so right.
I think I failed in 3 days or something like that. So yeah, so overall, I guess we'll just go dive into it, Anna, right?
Yeah, totally.
Like I'll tell my tornado story.
Yeah.
It's, and you guys have, I mean, if you guys follow me, I source discount retailers, Ross, Burlington, Nike Outlet and stuff like that. And I think 4 or 5 days into it, one of the managers texted me. It's like, "Hey, we got new inventory," and I was just like, "Golly!" Like,
Yeah, you're like, oh no.
yeah, and you
A
can't say no.
personal invitation.
Yeah, a personal invitation. You can't say no. So we went. Nothing crazy. We spent $800, right? But the crazy part is it was such a really good haul. We only got like 18 units and spent $800, so it was higher buy cost. But throughout the month, we have sold around $600 already, and we only sold 3 of the 18.
Right.
So basically, 1 more pair, 2 more pairs, the whole haul will be paid off.
Right.
So
Which is
that's
great.
really good, right? So overall this month I spent 8,500 in all. um and that's me limiting and limiting and very picky, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like
Right.
I would say this month's spend, where because we're a no spend, we said this, it has to be a no-brainer deal.
Right. Like you leveled up your sourcing
Right.
basically.
It has to be like really strict. Like I didn't even touch men's size small. I didn't, like really strict in sizing. And then I was comping out by size, like,
Yeah.
oh, like it's medium flooded or
Just
large
like
flooded.
no assumptions.
No assumptions. Yeah, so this one was like we took time, because if we don't take time, that means we just hit more stores.
Yeah.
So
Right.
we were taking our time to not hit more stores.
Yeah.
So that was the break there. But overall, in general, right? Like you gotta spend money to make money. And that's a big reason why our store, quote unquote, maintained, right?
Yeah.
In Because we were able to inject more new stuff, and then we still have around 250 items that we still have to list
Yeah.
out of that whole haul. So I would say April is definitely slower compared to last month. So that's
Oh,
kind of like
same.
a
It's like half for
so
me.
so yeah, we're like 28% down in sales. So that's kind of like the it's bad, but the good side is you get to catch up. You get to pad your
Yeah.
listed value a lot more, because if it would have went on and on, obviously,
Yeah.
like
Then you
you
can't
have
maintain
to
it.
you can't maintain it. It'd be very hard. So that's kind of like just been the kind of like, I guess, the analytical money numbers kind of like side of our April.
Totally.
Um and it kind of just we kind of went back to kind of like, just going back to our roots. I felt like 2018. That's what I
Yeah.
felt like. Going to individual stores and really milking the this amount of spend that we did. Like a lot of the buys were like, I have to like 3x my money on this. So
Yeah.
that was the good exercise, and kind of just going back to the basics. So that's kind of like what we learned about the spending money on the no spend month.
I was gonna say, not to like brag on your behalf or in some weird way, but like I have been sourcing with you when you're in full like hurricane mode, and 8,000 is nothing. So I feel like you still should at
Stretch.
least
That
get
was
a
a
B
stretch. Right,
plus.
right,
Yeah,
right, right.
I mean,
B
yeah,
plus. I'd take a B
you are
plus.
not afraid to make big purchases.
Yeah,
I will say that for
yeah,
people that don't know the scope of like how your store works. But
yeah.
um, so let's talk a little bit about cross listing really quick because that
Mm-hmm.
was our challenge last
Right.
week. And I kind of want to go back through, like, even though, I mean, to be honest, neither of us completely did what we said we were going to do in the way that we set out to do it
Yeah.
this
The
month.
Yep. Correct.
But, like, I mean, that's fine. Like, that's part of, adjusting with things as they
Mm-hmm.
go, adapting, right? So I want to talk about all that, but let's kind of go backwards through the weeks. So, because for me, like cross listing is much newer, and I know you were working on getting your
Yeah.
Poshmark back in shape and stuff. So, do you want to talk about that first? Like,
Yeah. So let's talk about cross listing, I guess. Right.
yeah,
So mine's gonna be short and sweet. We are finally back on Posh with
welcome
hundred
back.
with 100% accurate inventory.
Great,
So we
so important.
because of this exercise that we did this month, we've built into every morning, um, JC's kind of like break is delisting items on Posh. And then twice a week, me and JC go through our goat inventory. So those two
Is that
have,
because you have to manually delist?
yeah, those are manually it's an app it's an app. Goat is only on apps. So there's no tabs I can open. So I would literally sit next to JC and say like, "Hey, do we still have this shoe? Do we still have this shoe? Do we still have?" So it's that painstaking. And currently we have like 600 listings there. And so that's kind of like where we're at. Actually, let me see if I could tell you how many items we have on Posh currently.
Yes.
Where we're at. My Posh. Mm. So we have 557 available listings on Posh right now.
Cool.
So
And do you do multi-quantity on there sometimes?
yes, we have
Okay.
multi-quantity on that one. I don't know. I don't think it shows, huh? I don't
No,
think it
not
shows.
really.
Yeah,
No.
quantity. Yeah.
It does if you go into like edit the listing, but there's no summary
Yeah,
of
there's
it.
no summary of it. Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like where we're at on Posh. I think we're very kind of like happy that we got it back because of that. I can confidently send offers.
Yes.
If
You
you
can
haven't,
actually engage with
right, if you
the
haven't,
processes of the
caught
platform.
into, my fiascos, we've been suspended twice already, and that it's for 14 days each. So I've been suspended a month this year already.
Wow.
So, and that's kind of like, the things that we have to do,
Yeah.
to maintain a store. So, tell us about your experience cross listing. I guess what platforms do you sell now?
Yes.
And if you have the listings that you have, I think, right, like, because you say like your listed value went down, technically it actually went up more
Exactly. I
because
know.
you've cross-listed on multiple platforms.
I was gonna say, I was just counting my eBay listings, which
Right.
obviously every time something sells on another platform, it comes off of eBay.
Mhm.
But that's the easiest way to still just round up how many sales I made or
Correct.
whatever. But it is true. When we started the month, I had just gotten my Poshmark to 1,000 listings,
Mhm.
I think. And then like through the course of March, I think I sold about 80 on Poshmark. So now my listings are up to over 1,200, and I've sold over 60 already this month. So that is really good because I've been both cross listing more and selling more on Poshmark. And then Depop, when I started this month, I had about 200 listings, I think, and now I'm over 500.
Nice.
And I've sold like only like 7 things or something on Depop this month. But last month, my biggest sale of the month was a Depop item. So this month has been really good. And actually, I ended up parting ways with Mercari. I was having trouble with it, and I thought, this is not worth my time right now.
Yeah.
Maybe at a later date I will fold this one back in, but I just went ahead and delisted
Oh,
the handful of things that were over there.
well, speaking of Mercari,
Oh,
I sold a shoe in Mercari
that you didn't have?
that I miraculously have.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so
That's
yeah, I
hilarious.
guess we're still in Mercari. We just
You're like, I didn't really know.
I just
but-
didn't know, like if we still have
Yeah.
a store there or not suspended, it's still going.
Yeah.
But a lot of the shoes we sell are kind of like past season items. So if somebody's cowering for that
Yeah.
shoe in Mercari, they'll find it. So I sold one shoe for like $98 that I paid
Nice.
$30 for it. So
That's a good sale.
yes, I think I could take one sale. I can handle one sale every month for Mercari
Yeah.
currently.
My problem was, so I've been using Vendu to cross list,
Yeah.
and there's some issue with choosing the shipping option for Mercari for me on Vendu for some reason, and I don't think everyone has that problem, but it was to the point where like I would have to log into Mercari separately and go manually change every single listing in order to put an accurate shipping
Ew.
conditions like on the listing, and I'm just like, I don't have time to do that right now.
Right,
like
right.
maybe once I get absolutely everything I want over on the other platforms that are
Mhm.
performing better, then maybe I would take some time and do that on certain items, but it just wasn't worth the time right now. So that's why I went ahead and stripped it out, and I'm just going to leave it dormant for now. I didn't like close my account, but I just took
Right.
everything out of my store. So anyway, though, I am really happy to have almost 2,000 items listed on other platforms because I also have like 50 or so on Etsy. And I did make one Etsy sale this month, and I have to tell you the story about it because this was my biggest sale ever.
Oh,
And
like combined, like all
like
different
of all
platforms.
time,
Yeah, right.
the biggest, highest dollar sale of an item.
That's wild. It happened on Etsy.
Yes, and this is what happened. This was really interesting. So this was an item I bought a year ago at the bins
Okay.
for maybe $2 max.
By weight, right? By
weight.
weight.
Yeah. And it was really, really ornate and cool. It's called like an opera jacket or a duster, but is all beautifully embroidered all silk from the 1940s, and in amazing condition too. Like there weren't stains or rips or anything. It was beautiful. I have no idea how this thing made it to the Goodwill bins, but it was incredible. The coolest
Right.
thing
Nobody
I got.
snagged it at the regular Goodwill.
No, or yeah, I have no idea how it got there. So anyway, it was like in my little pile of, I guess, kind of a death pile of sorts of just secondhand clothing. That was kind of my back burner pile for apparently about a year because
Mm.
I listed a bunch of other stuff in the meantime, but that kind of stuff, I really wanted to like get a mannequin set up,
Right,
which I
right,
ended
right.
up not doing. I ended up going, I'm just going to list this the old fashioned way, the way I always have, whatever. I just want to get it up there. And the interesting thing is, I guess when I bought it, I did look it up after I got home and I didn't see any really good comps. And I wasn't sure about the era. I
Mm.
knew it was vintage, but I didn't know much about it. So I was like, I'll research this more later, whatever. So now, like I took photos of it right before I went to Washington D.C. for a week. And so while I was in D.C., I was working on listings, and I re-evaluated that item and researched comps again, and I found one on Etsy that
Oh.
was almost identical. It was a slightly different size, but basically the same thing for like $800. So I had seen some similar comps, but not as similar.
Mhm.
And I was like, okay, I could probably price this at like 400. And so I had only listed it on eBay, and immediately overnight after the afternoon that I listed it on eBay for 400, I got an offer from the UK for like 250. And I was like, wow, that was really fast
That's
for
fast.
for a
Yeah.
$250 offer. And that's actually what prompted me to go look on Etsy and see if I could find some better comps. And that's where I saw the $800 one. And so I thought, okay, I'm cross-listing this to Etsy right now, and I'm listing it
Also, it was
at
originally listed on
$600.
eBay.
Yeah. So,
Oh.
but only for like 12 hours
Right,
because
right, right, right.
literally I cross-listed it to Etsy, raised the price on both platforms, and it sold within like 2 hours.
Oh,
for
golly, so
full
you
price.
even raised it.
I raised it from 400 to 600. And someone bought it full price, no returns policy on Etsy, and it's been delivered for a week and I haven't heard a peep. So I'm assuming it's okay. Hopefully there's not famous last words. But I mean, I had measurements. I had a pretty good listing, so I feel pretty
Right.
good about it. But that was, $600 plus shipping for that item. And I paid like $2 for it. So that is the dream.
That's a big W right there. That's
I
definitely a
know.
story to tell.
It is. Well, and you know what's funny? I keep talking about this year about how I want to write a follow-up book to my book about
Mhm.
eBay that I wrote in 2020. And the cover of that book is the brightly colored Coogie sweater that I
Right,
paid.
right,
I
right.
paid like $2 for that and sold it for 300. And it
Also,
really,
this could be the cover for it.
yes, it's the new cover. So I'm so excited. I'm glad I took really good photos of it too, because I can actually use them for the cover of the book.
Yeah,
And
next
it's
thing
like
you-
it's really similarly colorful too. Like it's
Right,
awesome.
right. Like I've seen like some embroidery work. Like
Yeah.
I thought it was kind of like it definitely has like a Kuji vibes to it.
Oh yeah, it's gorgeous.
Yeah.
But anyway, it also fit me perfectly, and I'm really glad
Oh.
I didn't keep it because
Yeah,
I never
'cause
would have worn it, and
Where would have you worn it?
it was worth so much more than I realized for a whole year. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of lessons in that story, but I will say I was super thrilled. I hope to find more really cool stuff like that for Etsy. I'm really picky about what I put on Etsy.
Right.
And even some of the stuff that's on there now, I'm like, I can do better. I need to go find better vintage clothing.
Mhm. Yep.
So I have some of my best stuff, but I want to just kind of really curate that going forward in the process of sourcing. I want to curate that more.
Right. That makes
And like
sense.
I will pay up for things if they are the things that those buyers are looking for, right? So
Mhm.
so that was a really fun story. But that was a huge thing that came out of basically this focus on cross listing that literally happened during the week where that was our focus. And I don't think that that is an accident at all. I'm trying to think what else happened with cross listing that was, well, I guess, I did just um, essentially added, 500 listings as far as moving my listings to other platforms. So that was also a big boost for my overall operation. It's so funny because I have always just talked about my eBay store, and now I
Mhm.
have to like stop. I have to change my language about it because it's
Right.
like it's my store, but it's like multi-storefront. It's so bizarre to get used to. Um, but anyway, another thing. So before we talk about kind of the other challenges, I do want to say, for me, part of my sprint this month was trying to do things like a little bit at a time, like this many
Yeah.
listings a day and this much inventory check a day.
You you were trying to like kind of we were trying to mimic what Kindle did, like the small
Yes.
chunks.
Yes. And that worked, but at a certain point, I think I started feeling kind of overwhelmed in the sense that I was making progress every day, but none of it seemed like it was actually going to land at the end of the month. And I would really hate to end the month and have nothing completed.
Right.
Like, even if I made 80% progress on everything, if nothing was completed, that would be a huge disappointment to me because that's just how my brain works.
Right.
So I'm like, okay. So I did that for the first week. For the second week, I actually went back to my batch listing and batch work kind of ways. And then I had a week where I was gone. So I was kind of batch working because all I had to do was, launch new drafts and stuff.
Right.
And so when I came back, I decided to just stick with that because it was working for me. And so that was a really good exercise, but it was also really just kind of good to confirm that this is really what works the best for me, and to not feel like on the flip side of the coin, to not feel overwhelmed if I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm 3 weeks into the month and I haven't done hardly any photos. It's like, that's okay because I'm going to do 200 items in the next week. Like, I can like rest in that kind of, and I think it's just easier for me to manage that mentally. So I did actually finish my inventory check.
That's huge.
I was able to prep and research all of my consignment items, which that was our previous week before cross-listing was consignment, or it was, sourcing through your network. So do you have any like things to add about consignment? Because you kind of went that route too, didn't you?
Yeah, I have stuff, but I haven't gotten a chance to go through it.
Okay, so you've obtained it, but you haven't processed it.
So I have it in my possession.
Okay.
The boxes are still unopened, so we
Yeah.
still need to go through them.
Okay. Well, that's good. Yeah, for me, that was a daunting task to research everything.
How many items did you pick out of the whole consignment thing?
47, which was not a large percentage of all of the stuff.
Right.
But I had
it's good ones.
Yeah, they're good ones. The
Right.
listed value of them is going to be something between 3,500 and 4,000.
Okay.
So that's pretty good.
It's like $100 ASP.
Yeah, pretty cool mid-century stuff. A lot of it is. There was a lot, unfortunately, that smelled really smoky. And I don't have an ozone machine. Even if I did, like, it was things like records and 8-tracks and media that I don't know if it would even hold up.
You could even remove the scent of it. Yeah.
And for a lot of those, at least the ones that I had, I did research every one of them still, and like did a quick search to see because
just in case if it was really
super rare,
worth the restore or something like that. Yeah.
Correct. And all of the things that I found were like, well, if it was completely brand new and sealed and didn't smell like smoke, then it might be worth something.
Right.
And so I was like, okay, so none of this is gonna fly. So that was a little bit disappointing, but it was also like very clarifying, and I was glad that I could actually make it through. There was a lot of stuff, so I made it through all of that stuff. Obviously I have 6 or 7 bins of stuff, like I said, that I pulled out from my inventory check, and then I just had some good old-fashioned death pile items that I had gotten one way or the other over the course of this year so far that I hadn't listed.
Okay.
And just today I'm finally into the photographing part of my batch work, and I ended up doing 6 bins worth of stuff today.
Wow. So eventually, like you said, you were gonna list it before the month ends. So you still have a week to.
Yeah, and there's still a lot. Like, it'll be a challenge to get the rest
Right.
of it done, but
Right.
it'll be so satisfying if it really gets done. And even if it doesn't, now I know my inventory check is complete, my consignment client's totally set up, and I can just focus on this one task of basically getting all these photos done. So I'm really looking forward to May because I'm going to be starting with a clean slate. And honestly, even if I'm barely not over the finish line. Okay, so I spend another 1 or 2 days in May, and then I'm at a completely clean slate. Like, that's
Right.
a great place to be.
Exactly.
My death pile's gone. I was able to purge items from my own house, which is our challenge week one,
Right.
which was also really greatly beneficial to me. And now I'm feeling good about. Oh yeah, I was gonna ask you that. Did you get JC's bin of clothes listed?
Nope, because we were buying stuff.
Just went on the back burner.
Yeah, I did. I'm trying to find if I sold some of my used pairs yet.
Oh yeah, because you were
Um,
starting with shoes anyway.
yeah, already listed my
Yeah.
side's already done.
Okay,
So
gotcha.
that's one of the things that was priority during that week. But it's very freeing too. I guess one of the things that I learned about it is I really didn't miss them. Like
Yeah.
they're gone. I don't see them anymore, and I don't
Yeah.
miss them. So I guess that's kind of like where I sit on that side of things. That yeah, it's okay to purge stuff.
Yeah, were
And
you worried about that? Like,
I
oh,
was I
maybe
was
I'll
because
regret it.
yeah, because I've said it too. I've said it that like I
Yeah.
want to get rid of stuff, but yeah, I actually did sell one. I sell one for 150, a running shoe that I didn't want to wear anymore. It just didn't fit me right. So I think so far that's the only one that I sold. Let me double check. Yeah, I mean that's always the biggest worry for a collector. But I think I'm over that phase now. And I'm just kind of like glad that they're gone, and all the stuff like I usually don't put them back in my collection space. They're
Yeah.
just downstairs already, kind of like pre-packed, ready to roll. So that's kind of like where we sit at on those things, and eventually, right, like somebody's gonna, especially for the stuff, all my stuff were used already that we're listing. So
Yeah.
obviously, I could price it aggressively, or I could just wait for this, perfect buyer to
Yeah.
snag it. Um, so that was fun part. Yeah.
Well,
So
I'm sure you're not feeling this way since you have still been sourcing
yeah.
this month, but I miss it so much. I'm like, I can't wait to have this super clean slate so that I can go and have fun sourcing in May. And
Yeah.
just in time for like yard sale, rummage sale season. And like, I'm trying to think, there was probably one time that I bought like one thing because again, it was like a no-brainer thing. I
Yeah.
happened to be at a thrift store or something. Oh yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, that's what it was. My husband was buying clothes for himself,
Yeah.
and
You
there
were
were
yeah.
there were a couple of items that I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is a stupid price for this thing. I have to
Mm-hmm.
get this for my store." So I think I spent $20 this month on inventory. But yeah, that was so I also followed the no-brainer rule. I just didn't go places at all, which was
Yeah.
hard and
Yeah.
a bummer.
Yeah. I don't think I can survive without going out
Yeah.
shopping. It's
Which is
it's
it's
addicting.
interesting too though, like putting yourself through the paces and realizing like how strong of a part of your like experience running your store that
Yep.
is. Like that's good to
Yeah.
know about yourself.
It's definitely a part of the habit and routine already,
Yeah.
right? Like a lot of the stuff. So for example, like I'm picking up my sister from school,
Yeah.
or we're heading somewhere, and then all of a sudden, like like this one this one happens, and then you just see a store. I'm like, well, I got extra
Yeah.
15 minutes, let me poke in there.
Like here we go.
Yep. So that's kind of like my mentality on that one.
Yeah. It's also like I don't know. I think there's a lot of skill and like nuance that goes into trying to be good at sourcing in every season and
Mm-hmm.
like having like a forward thinking like seasonal mentality about what you're sourcing. So to just take a whole month off on purpose, it's kind of like counterintuitive to that skill set that you've just been building for years.
Yep.
So anyway, I think that we both got exactly what we needed out of these challenges, which is great. And what I interrupted myself earlier, but I was going to say I now feel really good about doing our last challenge for this month because so much
Mm.
progress has been made.
Right. Right.
For
Right.
me,
Right.
it was like super important to what I call clear the decks, right? Get rid of the
Yeah.
death pile, get everything organized, like reset in a way. Because I do plan on doing a lot more sourcing and growing through the rest of the year
Mm-hmm.
and that's just like a good solid foundation to go from. But our last challenge, it still is a no spend challenge. And Ken,
Right.
I'm pretty confident that you're going to be able to do this one.
I think so.
I think so. It's not actually about sourcing, but
Right.
if you've been listening to the Seller Club podcast for a while, you know that we love to do tactical episodes and we love to do interviews and we also love to do mindset episodes.
Mhm.
So this is kind of like what, you know, us we psychology folks would call an in vivo mindset episode
Okay.
that you get to create for yourself, because we want you to take this challenge where sometime in this week you go and you do something that's good for you and good for your mental health that you don't have to spend any money on.
Mm. That's true.
And maybe that's the time that you would have spent, you know, doing your no spend sourcing or doing something else for your business, but you are such an important investment in your business. And you also don't have to spend a lot of money to do something that really boosts your motivation and your mental
Yeah.
health and your outlook. So
So
should we
yeah,
give
I've
some ideas? Do
yeah,
you have
give
ideas
I
already?
re-
What
I
you're
already
gonna
do.
do?
I already do
Okay.
because you know we've talked about all the different challenges that we're gonna do, and there's we live pretty close to a river, and this river I cross this bridge every day, and over the winter, right? Like obviously, like there's no leaves. It's rivers are looking pretty sad.
Yeah.
It's just brown, right? But
Yeah.
now that leaves are sprouting, all the plants are growing. Um, I really didn't know that there was like a riverbank till I looked at it
Oh,
when the leaves were gone, right?
I
And
see.
then now I see like kids, people walking on the riverbank, and this is definitely if I don't do this, I fail April. I fail myself.
The stakes are high for this one.
Yeah, so my goal is to bring a lawn chair and sit on the riverbank and just chill and maybe like just kind of like daydream. That's kind of like what I do. Daydream for me is like planning and scheming what the next
The next
year
big
would
move.
be, right?
Yeah.
What the next big move is. Yeah, because to be honest, like April was kind of just like us going through our habits and
Yeah.
going through our routine. That's why it was super hard for me to break it, because it was the only thing that was, I felt like it was the only thing that was holding pattern.
Yeah.
We were working out a lot and everything like that, so that was thing. And so I think that's kind of like me and JC are talking about like what would May look like, what would be the next 2 months would look like.
Yeah.
We don't have a 5-year plan, we have a next month plan. so
Yeah.
so I
Like,
think
you
that
have
would be
goals, but then you have plans.
yeah.
It's
So I
different.
think that would be the one example. I think to go to a different spot, and just enjoy something that's free, which I think is kind of like the theme here. I mean, if you have to buy a cup of coffee, then go ahead. treat
I was
yourself.
just gonna say no
Um,
ice cream for the riverbank.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I'll
I'm gonna
get
have
some
like
Jennies.
a frappuccino or something like that and sit down there.
So
A
you-
boo.
In
Go
all
ahead.
your time living there, you've never been to the river like that?
I've never been to that riverbank.
Oh
And, like,
my
it's I could
gosh.
literally walk there.
That's
so
so
I've been
funny.
we've been in this house for 6 years.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, and yeah, and it's literally right by a little town that has shops, ice cream shops, and everything like that.
Cute.
Like I could literally go to that little Italy where I could order a pizza and then just sit there, and I just haven't. Like that is embarrassing to say, and that is when I say do what I say but don't do what I do, because golly, that would have just pause and reflect and think. I think that's we have to do that, especially with everything that's going on right now.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's my plan.
I love it. Yeah, it's really hard for me to do things that aren't productive in some way. Like,
You're right.
For the
that are
most
not
part.
tangibly productive.
yes, the easy, like for me, I'm like, oh, I definitely want to do something outside because, it's spring is springing, right? And
Okay,
it's
yep.
like, that's the whole point, is like, let's actually enjoy
Right.
this season and not spend all of our time indoors taking photos and listing things. Which I will say, I list from my balcony at my house a lot. That's like when the weather's nice, and that is so great. That's such an upgrade. Such an easy experience upgrade is to go take your work outside and enjoy it out there. But even without doing any work, like I'm immediately thinking, well, what yard project can I do? Like, oh, I could weed my garden. It's like, no, that's still work,
You're still
right?
working. Yeah.
Yeah, so shame on me for that. But no, I'm sure that there's other people listening who are like that, and I'm not actually
But
shaming
that
us
could
for
be
it.
me. That could be me because I don't even touch my garden. I don't touch my yard. I don't touch anything.
Yeah.
So me actually doing that would be something like that's
Well, right. It's like
off, not out of habit, not
Yes.
out of tradition or something like that.
yeah,
You know, like
the context.
right. So if I do that,
is
my neighbors
important.
would be shocked. Like, wow, this guy is really doing something for his mental
Right.
health.
Well, and honestly, like, yeah, if I were to go and weed the garden, that would totally boost my mental health because it's like physical work, but to me, it's not necessarily a chore. Like I really
Right.
enjoy it.
Okay.
So that could be something, but I really haven't decided yet because I want to go like a little above and beyond and choose
Okay.
something that truly is just like totally a leisure activity
Ah.
because I'm so bad at that. Because I'm so addicted to productivity and I love to
Yeah,
do
that-
something that's going to move the needle.
Maybe there's a weekend that you actually take off, and just spend an afternoon somewhere.
Yeah.
Which is kind of weird. I mean, it's not weird. I feel like I've just been automatically put in this mindset that on weekends I don't want to do anything because that's when everybody does everything.
Yes, I'm the same. I love doing stuff in the middle of the day on a weekday
But
when
at
there's
the
no one
same
else
time-
there.
At the same time, you're like, there's the least human interaction everywhere.
Yeah.
else.
like,
So just like imagine if I go there in the river and just on the during the weekday I'm just by myself. That'd be
Yeah.
peaceful. But to do other things without, I mean, it would be weird to go in a park where there's nobody else but you. I guess for some people they like that, but
Yeah.
for some people like you see commotion, right? You see people doing things.
Yeah.
So like I get inspired when I see people do things. So I guess
Yeah.
that's what my point was.
Well, and I mean, another part of this too, there's a reason that we're doing this challenge at the end of the month. And in a way, it's because, I guess in my mind, it's because it's a reward for all the hard work you've been doing, right?
True.
And I think, at least for me, I know this is true for a lot of other people too, that when you actually change your physical environment or like you get away somewhere,
Oh,
like
100%.
that really changes your mindset.
100%.
It's different. Like the only time that I am totally fine just literally laying and doing nothing is when I'm on the beach. Like I will lay on the beach for 8 hours and not feel bad about it and not get antsy.
Yeah.
I could literally just lay there.
Well, because
It-
you're hearing things, right? You're all
It's
your
so
senses
relaxing.
are feeling different, right? Like you're feeling
Right.
the heat.
And you're not like you're not at your house in your
yeah, you
routines.
can't do
don't
anything
have-
else, right? You don't have a yard
Yeah.
there to
There's
do
no
stuff.
laundry to do. There's
Yeah.
no right.
Yeah.
So that is kind of, and I actually did get a little taste of that when I was in DC for a week.
Yeah, because you were like hanging out in coffee shop, looking at
Yeah,
other people.
and
know,
it was
like,
so glorious. Like that.
yeah,
change
you
of
were so
scenery
productive with
was
all your
awesome.
admin work and stuff. Like
I will say it was not free. However, none of that was free.
Yeah,
But it was worth
coffee
it.
Here and
It was
there,
worth
yes.
it. So
A good cup of coffee is free.
I don't know. That sounds
That's my math.
sounds
if
like
it's-
stealing.
If
Again.
it tastes good and it feels good, it's free even if I paid for it.
You're like the enjoyment is free.
Yeah.
The coffee was paid for, but the
Yeah.
enjoyment is free. Yeah. So I don't really know. I can guarantee you it's going to be something outside. It might be at my own house. That's the other thing is that I live in this cool old house and I love working on it. And there's
Right.
so like inside and outside, there's so many things that we want to do. And there are a number of things that I wouldn't have to spend any money on because we already have the supplies for it. I just haven't made the time to do.
Mm.
So it might be something like that.
Hmm.
I don't know. I really want to figure out something that is out of the norm though. And that is really, for me personally, like serving as a reward for working really hard, because I have busted it in these 18 days of April that I was working, and I'm really proud of it. And I want to actually make a point to pause and celebrate that, because I am also really bad at that. I just blow through and keep going. I'm like, on to the next goal. Good job, Anna. Keep going. Like that's, I like barely take a breath about it, you know?
Right.
So if anybody has ideas, let me know, because I
Tag
have
us.
all week to figure out what I'm going to do. So we'll see.
That's a good idea. But yeah, I'm going to that river. So y'all got to start thinking, what is that for you?
I know. And you got to figure it out, because I need to know your May plans so we can figure out what we're focusing on.
It's
Seller
gonna
Club
be May.
It is going to be May.
Yep. So
Can we get Justin Timberlake on the show?
Oh, we probably could. At least some tunes that sounds like Justin Timberlake.
Some AI parody of Justin Timberlake.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
So yeah, I think that is a wrap for April. May's coming. More allergies and more sneezing. Definitely more sunshine. That's definitely for sure.
The May flowers, right? We talked about that. April showers bring May flowers.
Exactly. Love rocking shorts again and t-shirts. That's kind of like, me and JC definitely have a cool personal challenge that we're doing in May. So we're gonna announce that with you guys. So I think that would be something. So there's one thing that we figured out that we're doing in May. But besides that, hit us up if you guys want some different questions you want answered, or our different takes. Always feel free. Our DMs are open. Seller Club Podcast on Instagram, or Anna Finds Everything on Instagram, or The Hustle Bee. I haven't been as active on my Instagram, but my DMs are still open. Brainstorm with us and stuff like that. So again, we just want to thank you to Seller Ledger. Tax season is done, and this year could be your easiest bookkeeping year if you try Seller Ledger. Get your book straight, and we will see you in the next episode. Peace.
Bye.
In the vapor. Let's go. Let's go. Started with the plan, had it mapped out clean, and the month hit fast, know what I mean. Winds came through, some things slipped, still showed up, still stayed with it. Numbers don't lie, had to face that truth. Some days fast, some days slow move, but we stayed down, kept that pace. Now we look back like, yeah, that's growth. Did the work, no shortcuts. Bit it up, no luck, it's gonna be May. Fresh start, new place, run it back, upgrade. Yeah, we leveled up the way. It's gonna be May. No more delays. Clean slate, new page. Now we ready for the next phase. Woo! Cross-listed, tried new lanes. Took some losses, learned the game. Cleared the pot, reset the space. Now we moving with a different pace. Mind right, time right, too. Had to step back just to break through. Not just work, had to breathe. Now we see what we could really be. Stay like no burnout. That's what this month is about. Fresh start, new place. Run it back, upgrade. Yeah, we leveled up the way. It's gonna be May. No more delays. Clean slate, no page. Now we ready for the next phase. Yeah. Slow days to breakthroughs. From down to a new view. You did more than you think. Now it's time to lead. What you learned to what's next. Running smarter, not straight. It's gonna be May. Say it loud. Okay. All that work gon' pay. Now we step into a new wave. It's gonna be May. New month, new games, same grind, new aim. Seller Club, we don't play. Yeah. Appreciate y'all rocking with us. Seller Club.